It's Navi the Sage, the Dank Sage, all that shit. We go by all that fucking shit, man. I'm back today, y'all. Just on this bitch. Wanted to reminisce, talk for a little bit, you know, just my thoughts and shit. But anyway, so this video is really just about man, I didn't know where to start this, but pretty much my girlfriend has been watching this show on Apple TV, man. It's all about like Hurricane Katrina, and all about like how this hospital, Memorial Hospital in New Orleans, like how they was affected, like people's life stories, like how these people was affected by the hurricane and shit like that. And for all y'all who don't know out there, you know, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I moved to Texas at like age 9, Hurricane Katrina, 05, like August or some shit. So watching this shit really it hit like home, honestly, the way for me. Like, it feel weird seeing it. Like, I don't know. Watching that shit feel really fucking weird. It's been giving me a whole bunch of flashbacks and shit and making me reminisce of my life back in New Orleans in like 04, 05. Really make me reminisce a lot about my childhood, man. But yo, this is kind of gonna turn to like a story time, because literally, so the show is about, like I said, people in the hospital, Memorial Hospital, and you know, and it's based, I don't know how to explain it. It's from like a perspective of like the nurse and the board of, I really don't know what to call it. The person who is in charge of like emergencies in hospitals. But either way, so, you know, I remember that day like it was fucking yesterday. Like, I remember, so first off, when you grow up in, sorry, bro, I can't even talk right now, but when you grow up in New Orleans, hurricanes is just a part of life. That's just like a thing. Like, you know about hurricanes since you're a little kid. You hear about them on the news. Literally like 4 and 5 hurricanes hit New Orleans like every damn year. You know, small little hurricanes for the most part. I remember being like a little ass kid and we would go evacuate out in the country, out in like Baton Rouge or some shit like that. You know, by like a couple family members' house, like cousin Stady's house or some shit like that, man. So, you know, as a kid in New Orleans, you know about hurricanes. Hurricanes is just like a part of life, you heard me? Like, hurricanes is just like a known staple that people just accept. And, you know, it's like living in fucking Tornado Alley or some shit, or living in California, Los Angeles with fucking earthquakes, literally. So anyway, so I remember they was talking about Hurricane Katrina literally for like a fucking week probably, or like a few days. And like I said, you know, hurricanes hitting New Orleans is such like an average basic thing that most people, they don't even think anything about it. In fact, my grandma, I remember when the hurricane was happening and we, you know, my people was deciding if they was gonna evacuate. I'm talking like the day before. I remember the day before the hurricane hit. Literally, it was like sunny as fuck outside. We was walking around our fucking apartment complex in New Orleans off Mirabal Avenue. Like, and I remember it was quiet as fuck that day. Like, usually you always see birds, you always see something, some kind of animal outside, a squirrel, some shit, like on a tree. But I remember me and my grandma was walking like on a corner, like right down the street from the side of the apartments that she lived on, and in between like the side of the apartments that I lived on, because we live very close. My family's like very close, tight knit. But I remember that day like it was fucking yesterday. I remember like my grandma literally said she didn't see no ants, she didn't see no birds chirping, no flying, no squirrels, motherfucker. We leaving, literally. And it's crazy because my mama and my auntie was trying to convince her to leave any damn way, but it was almost like, bro, once she saw that all the animals was gone, all the animals evacuated, she knew like this shit was fucking serious for the most part. Fucking serious. And the craziest thing about it is, for a lot of people, that's why I'm gonna say, that's why that show, I wish I knew the fucking name of that show, man. I feel like I'm failing y'all right now, bro. But that show on Apple TV, The Memorial, so that's why it really hit home, because it's just like, bruh, it gives you a perspective of kind of like a up close look of, oh damn, shit, I might go to, they got some new chicken sandwiches. They got the big way. Anyway, I might go to chicken, yeah. Fat boy shit. But they give you like a different perspective of what certain people was feeling during that moment. Like the people who was actually stuck in the hospitals, stuck in the Superdome. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get like a full glance of that shit, an up close and personal view. Like you get like the whole perspective, and that's the shit that fucks me up, because it's like, bro, so many people was affected by this shit. White people, black people, Vietnamese people, you heard me? Like anybody. Like so many people was affected by that shit, and it really just, that show just had me like reminiscing about my fucking childhood, bro. Like living life in New Orleans is so different than life out in Texas. Not that Texas life is not like, you know, fun or whatever. Cool, motherfuckers in Texas get into that bag, I'm not even gonna lie. But it's so different. Like in New Orleans, you outside all the time as a kid. You have to go outside. Like, yo, people putting your ass outside, literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hear in Texas, you know, kids mostly in their house, they stick to themselves, they do their own fucking thing. It was a whole bunch of shit. It started making me remember like that ride to damn Texas to Dallas, and how we ended up in Dallas, really Irving, is because, you know, every hotel, a lot of hotels in the world was like booked the fuck up, because they would literally was just shipping motherfuckers to anywhere when that shit happened. Like, motherfuckers would end up all the way in Michigan and like Idaho, and like literally my godmother ended up in Michigan, Detroit, and all these places. But really, a lot of the people from New Orleans went to Texas, Houston, Atlanta, and like Miami, places like that, like other places in the South. And you know, but yeah, man, I just remember that ride. Like we had a whole bunch of people with us. Me, my mom, my stepdad, and my aunt had her car, my cousin, my grandma, my uncle. And then I remember we had like close family members who I considered my cousins, and who I do still consider my cousins to this day. You heard me? Like, riding with us, and I just remember that shit was fucking awful, bro. The traffic was see, I was 9 years old at the time, so you know, my patience was like wasn't really there. But I remember the traffic being so fucking awful, bro, that literally we was just stuck in the same spot for hours, like 2 hours. Like it was so awful, so fucking awful. I remember at one point of the ride, my mama was literally able to get out of her car and walk all the way to a bathroom, to like, which is like, man, at least, I don't even know, a couple yards away, and we literally didn't even move spots that whole fucking time, literally. Yo, I'm about to order real quick, y'all.
Hi, welcome to Golden Chicken. May I help you?
Yeah, can I get two separate orders?
2 separate orders?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, the first one, can I get a 6-piece tenders with fries?
Would you like a spicy, original, or half and